Good evening. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. Welcome back to another Lord of the Rings live stream. Wednesday evening is not typically the night that I am playing Lord of the Rings, but I got back pretty late on Monday, so I wasn't able to get in a game. And so I usually like to reserve Wednesday nights for guests, but I had Brant on this morning. We had a fantastic game of Marvel Champions, and so I figured I'd use this time slot to dive back into the progression series of Lord of the Rings. So, Lord of the Rings, I have been very much enjoying Lord of the Rings recently. I think that they did just a phenomenal job of designing. This kind of the last couple of games have been very tough. So we're into the Heirs of Numenor box. We have gone through the Core, Mirkwood, Khazad Dûm, and the Hobbit boxes, and now we're back into the Heirs, or not back, but we're into Heirs of Numenor, and this is into Ithilien, which is the second of the scenarios in that deluxe box. So I'm really excited for this quest. I played it a couple of times. The scoop counter, I'm guessing, is going to be used today, but also whenever I say that, it never gets used, so we'll see if I eat my words again. But the entire thing about this quest, which I think is really interestingly designed, is it has 4 stages of the quest, but you progress based on the game state to different stages inside the quest. So if you have Gildor, who is an ally, an objective ally, who's going to be taking damage throughout the game, if you have him still in the staging area, you go to 3A, and if you don't, you go to 2B, and then you skip 3A. And so it's kind of a branching story arc, similar to like an Arkham type scenario. And so I've been really enjoying that. So the mechanics are, we've got a battle here. 2A is a siege, meaning that we're questing with our defense instead of our willpower or our attack, which we are doing in 1. 3 is a standard quest, so we're questing with our willpower, and then 4 is standard unless our threat is 37 or higher, in which case it becomes a siege, which I think is like just really cool thematically, because it's almost like you've raised your threat, you've made yourself known enough that people have kind of barricaded their walls inside of Kara Andros, and therefore you have to kind of siege it rather than you're kind of outlasting them with your defense rather than trying to sneak in with your willpower. So I thought that was a really cool way to tie theme to mechanics in this sense. The game starts with Gildor here in the staging area, and while he's in the staging area, he's considered committed to every single quest, and so he has a 2/2/2 stat line. So any way you're questing, you're adding to the current questing points. Also in this deck, we have 2 other objective allies, ranger objective allies. Let me see if I can find them. Well, the entire game I'm going to be trying to find them, but let me see. Okay, so here's the Aphilian Guardian, and I believe the other one's named the exact same thing. I believe we have 2 of those. Yeah. So while these are in the staging area, they are also committed to the current quest, and then when revealed, we add this to the staging area, and then again Surge. So it's not a free encounter card, but then it is committed to the quest, so we do have a little bit of help throughout. And so the deck is kind of set up trying to find those guardians, and then if we ever unsuccessfully quest or a character leaves play, Gildor takes the damage. So we do have to be a little careful, because once we progress on stage 1, if we go to stage 3, we get to take control of all the ranger objectives in the staging area. So that'd be Gildor and the 2 guardians. If we get that, that's pretty sweet. That can change the game state pretty well. But again, are we going to be able to keep Gildor alive? And the hardest part for that is not necessarily questing unsuccessfully, but it is questing, or it's not losing characters. So we're effectively losing 1 character, or 3 characters, and Gildor leaves. There are also encounter cards in here that are treachery cards that will deal damage to every questing character, which includes all the rangers. So they are fairly fragile, but we will try to be keeping them alive throughout this scenario. Alrighty, let's talk about the deck a little bit. Let's see what we're running. So I have enjoyed this lineup. I think it's probably one of the strongest lineups that I have, or combinations of heroes that I have, with maybe the sub of this hero right here, which we'll get here in a second. So hero 1, we're running Glorfindel just because of how incredibly strong he is. A 5 threat hero, a 3/3/1, 5 health. So, and then whenever you exhaust him to commit him to the quest, raise your threat by 1. So outside of the siege quest, he can quest very significantly. If we are in a siege quest, then I transfer Glorfindel to kind of being the attacker and let him do a lot of the damage. The attachments that we're looking at for Glorfindel are Light of Valinor, which says that we can attach to a Noldor or Sylvian character. Glorfindel is a Noldor character, and the attached character does not exhaust to commit to the quest, so it removes the downside that Glorfindel has on his card. So that's really key, and that's why we're running 2 of these. These are unique cards, so we can't have both of them in play, but it does increase our likelihood of getting to these cards, and then once we have both of them, it will be just a dead card in our hand, because I don't think there are any ways that we lose attachments in this scenario. We have Asphaleth. So this is the noble steed, so attached to a Noldor or Sylvian hero, and you place 1 progress token on any location, or 2 if it's attached to Glorfindel. So there we go. And then last we have this expert treasure hunter. So this expert treasure hunter, it says after your hero quests successfully, name a card type and discard the top card of your deck. If it is that name type, take it into your hand. This combos really well. I'm going to just switch these around with Elrond. So if you've seen the stream before, you've seen Elrond. Elrond is just an incredibly powerful hero because you can spend resources from his resource pool to pay for any ally, any of the Forest Sphere's allies. And then after a character is healed by another card, heal it 1 additional damage. So this combos with Vilya, and this I think is, I've heard at least, and it currently in my card pool is the strongest combo in the game. So we attach it to Elrond. He gains the blue icon, and then we can exhaust both Elrond and Vilya to reveal the top card of your deck, and you can immediately play or put into play the revealed card at no cost. If not, put it at the bottom of your deck. So that just gets your engine roaring so quickly, and it's just incredible. So we're running 2 of those for the same reason we're running 2 Light of Valinors. We have Unexpected Courage because we do have to exhaust Elrond, and so I would like to ready him up, to ready him for either the questing or the combat phase. And check this out, he's going to be a good willpower or a good battle or a good sieger. So he's got a really solid stat line at a 3/2/3, which we usually don't get to see in action super frequently because we're exhausting him so often to play for Vilya. So we've got 3 Unexpected Courages. Not all 3 will go on to Elrond. Probably the first one, and then the other 2 are going to go on our last hero over here, which is the Starry's favorite character. I'm not sure if he's watching, but Denethor. So Denethor is clutch for these scenarios where you need a specific card from the encounter deck. In this case, it's the Ranger Allies, because he has a fairly subpar stat line at 1/1/3. He has 3 health. And it says exhaust Denethor to look at the top card of the encounter deck. You may move that card to the bottom of the deck. So this allows us to go fishing for the Ranger Allies to get them into play very quickly. We also have a Song of Travel for him, just to help boost our spirit economy a little bit. But honestly, I may sub that out because I really wasn't having the I wasn't having the hardest time questing or paying for my spirit cards, so now I'm having second guesses about everything. So those are the attachments that we're looking at our heroes. Let's take a look at the rest of our deck. So we have Darren's Runes. So draw 2 cards, discard 1 card from your hand. This just makes our deck a little bit smaller, helping us find those key cards. So I think of this as just running one, or each one of these is 1 card less in your deck. That's kind of how I envision it. We have self-preservation. So there are many effects in this scenario that deal damage to our heroes. And so self-preservation, we can attach self-preservation to heal 2 or 3 points of damage if Elrond is still around. So that's going to allow us to tank a couple of hits, and it's going to be kind of a game day decision on who we play that on, because it kind of depends on who and when we draw it. So probably Glorfindel, but here we are. We got Ancient Matin for the card draw. We're running our normal set, only 2 Dwarven Tombs, a couple of Test of Wills, and a couple of Hasty Strokes, just to kind of make sure that we have the mitigation available. Running 3 Elrond's Councils. So if we control a unique Noldor hero, we reduce our threat by 3 and give someone +1 willpower. Galadriel's Greetings. The other thing about the scenario is we're going to have just a ton of threat. So lowering that threat is going to be pretty key. And then we get into our allies. We're running a significant amount of allies here, just because the scenario is so fluid in what it requires us to do, whether it's battle, normal questing, sieging, and then there's a lot of enemies. So we're going to try not to lose 3 of these before we progress on, but we probably will, honestly. So we got Gleowine to draw a card, Himamath to check out the top card, Stargazer, which works really well with Treasure Seeker, or Treasure Hunter, Expert Treasure Hunter, and also Villia. So we can set it up so that we know what we're going to be discarding, so that adds to the card draw. Master of the Forest to go find our attachments, Warden of Healing to help heal all of that little ping damage. Is there an ally limit in Lord of the Rings? There is not. There is not, and I believe that they learned how broken that could be with the newer games. So there is not like with Arkham, you have 1 unless you upgrade that slot, and then same with Marvel, you have 3 unless you upgrade yourself. So you can run a significant amount of allies. Yeah, the board gets pretty busy. One of my favorite decks that we've run is a dwarf deck. So you just dwarf swarm, and you have so many dwarfs. And then there's Dane Ironfoot, who says that when he is ready, all dwarfs get +1 questing and +1 attack. So you just get so incredibly powerful really quickly. It's a lot of fun. We have Gildor. So Gildor is here. If we have an expensive card that we want to play with Villia, we can exhaust Gildor to put one of the cards on top of our deck. So that's kind of what he's in there for. We have Daughter to heal as well. We got Arwen. So Arwen actually is kind of interesting here, because not only does she allow us to quest well during our willpower. Dwarf Swarm, yes! Oh my gosh, I ran that. I think it was through the Khazad-dûm. I was trying to keep dwarfs just all the way through Khazad-dûm, because you got to, right? Like it was just, I love dwarfs. Dwarfs are incredible. I absolutely love the dwarfs in Lord of the Rings, as well as in this game. So Arwen gives +1 defense until the end of the round. So that can be used for questing and a siege. So a little bit of flexibility there. We've got 2 Northern Trackers. We got our 3 Gandalfs. We got Landroval. So Landroval can be played via Villia or with Elrond's resources. So he has the ability to, whenever a hero card is destroyed, return Landroval to our hand and put that hero back into play with 1 damage on it. So it allows us to protect our heroes, also with the sweet 3 questing if we are running through a battle. We got 2 Defenders of Ramas, so that's mainly in there to take hits and hopefully not die, as well as if we are in a siege quest, we will do that. And then the Beekeeper. I'm kind of happy about this Beekeeper. I've never run the Beekeeper before, but he says discard the Beekeeper from play to deal 1 damage to each enemy in the staging area. At some point in here, enemies don't make engagement checks and cannot be optionally engaged during the hidden way. And so this is a way to kind of kill and hopefully just deal some damage to some of them before they all start swarming us there towards the end of the battle. That is only if we get to stage 3 though. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where it goes. Kind of strategy here is to mulligan super hard into Villia. Once we get Villia on the table, and ideally a Stargazer as well. So Stargazer allows us to arrange the top 5 cards of our deck. If we can get those 2 pieces on the table, it gets pretty it's not easy. It's significantly easier once we get that, because you can ramp so quickly. You can start putting characters into play that are, you know, that are 5 cost for just an exhaust. So really important to get that. I would settle for a Craftsman. That's going to allow us to get Villia. That's going to allow us to get Light of Valinor. It's going to allow us to get a couple of these other attachments that are going to be pretty nice. But really, if we can get Villia in our opening hand, then we're going to be nice. The best practice game that I played, I had Light of Valinor and Villia in our opening hand, and that was smooth sailing right there. I liked it. This one is difficult. I do think that this quest is fairly difficult. I do think Denethor helps with that pretty significantly, being able to check and see what the top card is and moving that. And once we get a couple of unexpected courages, we can do it multiple times. Okay, so let's see what Ambush in Ithilien says. You've arrived in Ithilien with a sealed message for Faramir, only to learn that he's gone north to defend Car Andros from the massing enemy forces. Setup: add Gildor to the staging area, search the encounter deck for a copy of Ithilien Road, and make it the active location. Each player must search the encounter deck for a copy of Southern Company, and add it to the staging area and shuffle the encounter deck. 1B. Faramir has left a company of rangers in Ithilien tasked with ambushing Southrons as they march towards Car Andros. Their captain Gildor offers to lead you to Car Andros after the approaching enemy is destroyed. So this is battle, meaning that we're questing with our fight instead of our willpower. And then if players complete this stage with Gildor in the staging area, advance to stage 3A by passing 2. Aphilian Road is a location with 4 threat. 4 progress tokens are required to bypass it, and it says while this is the active location, enemies the engagement cost of each enemy in the staging area is 0. So that means every enemy will engage us, which gets very dangerous. So priority is to get this thing out as quickly as possible. Southern Company would engage us at 34, but we have that road, so it is going to engage us at 0. I assume that the road is kind of wide open and people can kind of see where you're traveling, and therefore it's kind of hard to sneak around. So 1-3-1, but if the current quest card has battle or siege, he becomes a 3-5-1. So priority number 1 is get this away. If we can get this away, then we start feeling a lot better about our situation. Because he's gonna hit us with a 5. We would have to defend with Elrond or something, because that would just take out a hero. So let's see, we got 2, 4, 6. The mulligan in this game, you draw 6. If you don't like it, you shuffle everything and draw 6 more. So we got Darren's Runes, we got Daughter of Nimero, we've got a Defender of Ramas, we've got a Gandalf, an Expert Treasure Hunter, and an Unexpected Courage. I like all of these cards, and but it's just it's not, I'm not guaranteed Villia. Let's see what it would have been. A Test of Will. So yeah, because you get to draw at the beginning of your turn. So not sold on that. So let's reshuffle and hopefully get a slightly better hand. I'm hoping. Come on. Oof. That Southern Company, the one like kind of issue I have with this quest is how difficult the very beginning is, because we're questing for 3. We really need 7, or else this guy pretty much kills something. And so if we can get an ally onto the table that changes, Gildor then needs to he would take a damage. So there's just a lot of risk right here at the very beginning. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We got Master of the Forge, so I'm happy about this. This is going to help us find a little bit more, or help us find our attachments if we don't have them. There's a Light of Valinor, that's pretty big. I'm really happy to see Light of Valinor here. Got a Warden of Healing, which is nice, an Expert Treasure, Beekeeper, and a Stargazer. Okay, so Stargazer helps pretty significantly to help us find what we need. Master of the Forge also can. So what we'll probably do is Master of the Forge and try and find Villia, and if we don't, we get to shuffle our deck, then try a Stargazer, and rinse, wash, repeat until we get there. The other thought is we could get the healer out there. Yes. Have I played this question a few times off camera to get a feel? Yes. So to kind of give everyone an idea of how I play each one of these games, Lord of the Rings, I play very intensively outside of streaming, where I want to make sure that I am coming into it not blind. This is a brutal game to come into blind, and it's a lot of trial and error, a lot of deck building. And so I do a lot of that off screen, and then I work to build and play on screen. Now with Arkham Horror, if it's a scenario or a campaign that I haven't done, I've never seen anything from it, and so it's completely blind. So it's kind of the opposite. And in Marvel Champions, if it's new, it's the first time I play it is typically on stream. But yeah, so I kind of have a feel for the quest and how that works. So okay, so let's draw our card into Elrond's Council. That doesn't really help us here because it does give us plus willpower and we're questing with our battle, but it would help us with our threat. Our starting threat is at 26, by the way. So, okay. Everyone get some money. So, there are a couple of things we can do here. So we're going to be questing with our battle. So it's going to be 3. Denethor is going to use his ability. It's too good to not use his ability, because then we know exactly what's going to happen. Is Lord of the Rings harder than Arkham? I would say so. I think Lord of the Rings is probably the most challenging out of the 3. I say that with kind of the caveat is with Arkham, you can fail forward. So if you don't do super well in one of the scenarios, you can progress on in the campaign. Whereas Lord of the Rings is very much a game where you have a problem and you have to very exclusively deck build for that scenario. And so it takes a very wide knowledge of the card base and a lot of trial and error. Like there have been very few scenarios that I've taken a deck through that I've won on the first turn with Lord of the Rings. So it's a brutal game. It's a very brutal game. Denethor. The other thing that's really hard about it is this game came out like 11 years ago, and the design team has learned a lot from going through 10 years of designing this game, Arkham, and Marvel. And so this game, part of what I love about it is the complexities and the timing windows of everything, but the timing windows and the complexity and the round structure printed out on pages is like 2 pages long. So it's very much more complicated than like Marvel Champions. So it's nice. Excited to watch you play Steward's Fear. Things get pretty cool in that quest compared to the first 2 cycles. Okay. Oh, Steward's Fear is... Where is that? Which one is Steward's Fear? I've also like... I do kind of try and not look at too many spoilers from a player card or a encounter specific, because once I do get out of a deluxe box, whenever I complete a scenario, I open the next box on stream, because I have all the old stuff. I don't have any of the revised core stuff. I was telling Brant this morning, I finished collecting the entire collection right before a couple of weeks before they announced the repackaged stuff. Okay, so okay, so there are two things that I'm looking at here. So we're gonna, let's just check this out. So we're gonna see a overgrown trail, exhaust our ranger character to place 3. Oh, first AP of the cycle you're in now. Sweet. Okay. Yeah. So that, if everything goes according to plan, we'll be in 2 weeks. So I'm excited. I want to get back to the actual the individual packets because I love opening them. They're just so much fun, and new player cards are like my guilty pleasure. So overgrown trail is going to throw a 4 at us, so that would be a 7. So we have 2. Yeah, there's just no way we could do that. It'd be 3, 5, 7. So we would not quest unsuccessfully, but we wouldn't place anything on Ithilien Road. So let's go ahead and just toss that to the bottom. We're going in a little blind now, which is a little scary, but hopefully we get a ranger. So I'm kind of thinking. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to get an ally out or if I want to get a Light of Valinor out. I think I want to go Light of Valinor, and then we'll use Elrond to defend this attack of 5 because he has a 3 defense. Okay, so let's go ahead and spin the 1 and play Glorfindel. Then we can, I guess we could go ahead and get a Warden of Healing out, because we're going to be taking some damage here. Just trying to figure out, because we'll still have the money to pay for the Stargazer next turn. We could go Master of the Forge, but if we pull any attachments right now, it's not going to actually help us. So let's go ahead and spin these 2 to play a Warden of Healing. So now we will quest. We have 2. 1, 2, 3. We're not exhausting because of the Light of Valinor. So we're questing for 5 total. Yeah, 5 to 3. We're going to flip into a 2. This is Archery X, where X is the number of players in the game, meaning that during the engagement, we have to deal damage to one of our characters based off of what archery value we have out there. So we went 3, 5. So we did not quest unsuccessfully, which is nice because Gildor doesn't take a damage. But now we're going into our check phase. Check. We'll deal a damage over here to Denethor. Actually, we'll do it to Glorfindel. These guys will come down and engage us. Deal out shadow cards. Elrond's going to defend here, so it's going to be a 5 to 3 shadow. Each player raises his threat by the number of enemies engaged with them. So we'll raise our threat by 2. And Elrond takes 2 damage. I'm actually going to put this over here. So now we have a 3 attack here. And I think I'm going to... I'm trying to think if I want to defend it or if I want to let it hit me. And I don't think there are any +2s. So... I don't think there are any +2s, so I think Glorfindel would be okay. Warden of Healing could help out there. And then we could swing back and start chipping away. Let's do that. Okay, so we're going to take it. Defending player raises his threat by X, where X is the attacking enemy's threat value, so 2. So 3 damage. We'll place that on Glorfindel. Then we'll have Glorfindel swing for 3 here, dealing 2 damage. We'll exhaust Warden of Healing to heal 2 from Glorfindel and Elrond. This scenario is so tight, so tight. Right here at the beginning. So at the end of the round, we'll unexhaust, increase our threat. Top of the round, we'll draw into a Northern Tracker. Then we'll spend some money, or we'll get some money. What's nice here is we have not lost a character, so Gildor is still safe, and now we're questing to 0. We're actually questing +2 because of Gildor. But we still have to deal with all of this stuff down here, which is the scary part. Let's go ahead and spend these two. Fingers crossed for no... Oh, is that the big elephant guy? Oh my gosh. That almost immediately increases that scoop counter. So let's spend 2 here for the Stargazer. The Stargazer we will use to go ahead and check the top 5 cards of our deck. Asphalith, okay. That's nice. The Gladrium's Greeting, Defender, Runes, and Unexpected Courage. I think... we'll draw into Runes. I kind of want Unexpected Courage as well. I'm assuming that we're questing successfully, so I'm gonna I'm gonna play Expert Treasure Hunter. So whatever one of these gets to put on top, I get to add to my hand if I do quest successfully, which I'm hoping that we get to. Which I'm thinking maybe Asphalt just for the long-term game. Then we draw into... Now we'll draw into Unexpected Courage, and then we'll use Stargazer again. And if we get Runes, it's nice, but it's also just a dead card. And no, we'll... No, we're good. We'll take the Runes, then we get these 2, then we get a whole 5 cards to look at next turn, if we make it that far. Okay, so let's use... I'm actually not going to use Denethor's ability. I think this is the time where we could probably quest for 5 and be okay. We may not clear this, but if we do flip a enemy at that point, we get in a lot of trouble. But I want another defender. I want to defend, and then we can heal. It's so many fun decisions. We're at 31, so we have Elrond's Council that we can play in case we do flip an enemy that has a engagement cost, assuming that we clear that. But okay, so we're gonna quest for 3/5. We have 2 blockers and an attacker. 5, flipping a 3. So that places 2 progress tokens here, which is excellent because we know we're getting Asphalith. I'm going to name an attachment. Boom. So we get to draw it. And then next turn we will be able to drop them and clear this. So that's going to be nice. I can't use Asphalith here, but I can use it here. Okay. I'm happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that. So let's go into our combat phase. So this 5 attack is going to go to again Elrond, defending for 3. Each player raises his threat by the number of enemies engaged with them. That's going to be 2 again. Wow. And then 2 damage. We got Denethor blocking here for 3. Shadow is attacking enemy gets +1 or +2 if it has a keyword. Oh, it does have a +2. Okay, so that kills Denethor. So at that point, I'm just gonna scoop. We haven't seen Villia. Denethor just died because he gets a +2 attack. I forgot that was in there. I probably should have healed before I defended. But I mean, here we are. So yeah, we'll just call that a scoop. Where's Villia? There's one. We would have gotten it there soon, but okay, so we'll increase the scoop counter. Wait, wrong one. And we will start right on over. That's what this game's all about. So 26. I was getting cocky. I hadn't lost in a couple weeks on stream. Okay. That's what this game's about. Okay, so we've got Gildor, got this company here. This guy's gonna go back. Where were our rangers? Just kind of curious. There's one of them. That's pretty deep. There's the second one. So we would have gotten there fairly quickly, especially once we got that unexpected courage and we could start cycling really frequently with Denethor. Okay, so that's going to go there. Yeah, flipping a second enemy was also pretty rough for us. Oops. I do like getting that healer out early, because that does allow us to start taking some damage. But okay, here's to drawing Villia in the first hand. So what is your favorite? Is Steward's Fear your favorite in this cycle? Or do you have a favorite scenario in this cycle? Okay. So a fresh 6 cards, a fresh total threat count. I'm gonna start here. Hopefully. Come on, Villia. 2, 4, 6. We got Unexpected Courage, Defender, Light of Valinor off the bat. That's nice. Runes, Song of Travel, and another Unexpected Courage. We'll mulligan this. I feel like Villia... We got to take a shot for Villia. What would our card been? It would have been a Hasty Stroke, which would have been nice to have in last game. But here we go. One more time. We did have Light of Valinor, though, so that was a little bit of a painful mulligan. Okay. Okay, here we go. 2, 4, 6. We got Runes, Master of the Forge, okay, Elrond's Council, Daughter of Nimrel, Gandalf, and Asphalith is nice. Asphalith is really nice here. We get to draw 1 card, which is a Hasty Stroke. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll start us out. Let's play Runes to draw 2 cards, Expert Treasure Hunter, and the Greeting. Will discard a card from our hand. I think that's probably going to be... Oh no, I like all of them. That'll be Expert Treasure Hunter, I think. No, it's going to be the Greeting. Because we have threat reduction here. We have threat reduction in Gandalf if we need it. And then we can pull a Greeting back with Dwarven Tomb if we need to. Okay. So let's spend 2 of... Spend 2 of these to play Asphalith onto Glorfindel. We'll exhaust Asphalith to play 2 onto the road. We'll go ahead and... There's no reason to play Elrond's Council now. And I think typically the right play would have been to play Master of the Forge there, but I need to clear this, and if I can do this in 2 turns now, minimum. So we do not have Light of Valinor, so we will exhaust Glorfindel to quest. We're gonna quest for 5. So 3, 5. We're showing 3. Oh. But if we flip another enemy, I'm going to need Denethor to block. I'm going to use Denethor's ability to see what it is. Oh! Just the big elephant guy. Yeah, let's go ahead and toss that way to the bottom of the deck. This guy's insane. So engagement costs a 38, a 4/7 3/12, and he can't take more than 3 damage per round. So super happy that we did that. So big boy elephants on the bottom of the deck now. So now requesting for a 5 against 3. We're going to flip into Surge, deal 1 damage to each character committed to the quest. We don't have a way to cancel that, which is a little unfortunate, because that does deal a damage to Gildor and Glorfindel. Surges into the Morgul Spider. When revealed until the end of the round, he gets +1 for each character not currently committed to the quest. So he's at a 6 attack, which probably no, that definitely kills us. Yeah, dang it. That was just bad on my part. So we quest unsuccessfully. Gildor takes another damage. And that was just bad play on my part, because both of these are gonna come in, and one of my heroes dies again. So scoop counter number 2. Let's go. Yeah, that was just poorly played on my part. I needed to not have exhausted Glorfindel, because it's probably a good assumption that we're going to flip into an enemy. And so I need 2 blockers. I need 2 blockers. Okay. 3rd time's the charm, right? I have yet to see Ithilien. To be fair, I played half of one turn, but so I don't know if I can say I've played too much to not see Ithilien, but usually I can. You know what? This is what we're gonna do. We're going to, in between here, we're going to take, where is it? Song of Travel. Song of Travel. Did I already pass it? Oh, there it is. We're going to swap Song of Travel out for a 3rd copy of Ithilien, just to help increase that likelihood that we get it early. Okay. So we'll shuffle these in. Hopefully get it. Turn 1. Turn 1. Let's go. That's what I'm hoping for. And then not a. And then Landraville. Turn 1. Put Landraville into play. Let's go. That's the goal. Okay. 2, 4, 6. I'm gonna draw 3 copies of Ithilien now. That's my recommendation. Hey, Strange Solution, how's it going? We got Dwarven Tomb, Master of the Forge, Ancient Madden, Test of Will, Unexpected Courage, and a Master of the Forge. This is a mulligan hand. Good, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. Looking forward to playing some Marvel Champions tomorrow. It's gonna be some fun. Who are you bringing to... We have a local meetup. Who are you bringing? Just in and out? Your son is visiting. Well, awesome. Well, have fun with your son. Gene, you're bringing Gene? Cool. I think I'm going to bring a... I have a Cyclops deck that's all about recurring Maria Hill. So the idea is to reoccur Maria Hill 2 to 3 times a turn. So everyone else gets to draw 2 to 3 extra cards. So that's the idea of the deck. So I'm hoping that someone's going to let me run that. Gene Aggression. Nice. That's going to be fun. Alrighty, here we go. We got Daughter of Nimmerel. We got Runes. Himamoth. Asphalith again. 2 Defenders. Wow. Okay. So we'll draw into Ithilien. Hey, there it is. Let's go. Alrighty. Now we're cooking with fire. Nice. Okay. Makes me feel a little bit better. I'm excited too. I am really excited as well. Okay, so we're not going to be able to drop Asphalith this turn, but we could drop Hemamoth if we use these two resources. So let's go Glorfindel and Elrond. We'll drop Avilia onto Elrond. Oops, I lost my guy. The problem here is can I afford to Vilia this thing? The right call actually may be to not play Vilia and instead drop Asphalith and then use Elrond to defend. Let's use runes to see what we can get before we even play Asphalith. We're going to use runes before we play Asphalith. So draw 2. Oh, we would have gotten a Gildor. That would have been sweet. So we get to drop one of these cards, which is going to be a Dwarven Tomb. Okay, so let's go 2 here for an Asphalith. Actually, 2 there. Oh wait, no, it is 2 there. Ah, dang. All right, let's roll the dice. Let's see what happens. Vilia, it's coming out. Elrond keeps that. We're gonna spend 1 for a Hemamoth. Hemamoth can take a defend for us. Well, Vilia to play. Oh, a Landraville. Let's go. Let's go, y'all. Oh, let's go. Oh, hype. So very hype. Oh, that is super exciting. Cool. Okay. Nice. Okay, so now I guess we could Denethor, and then we can quest for 3, 6, 7, 9, which would be 6. So if we don't pull a 2, or if we pull less than a 2, which is probably not very likely, then we get to toss that, and that can stay up into there. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. So I think, well, let's go ahead and use Denethor, and then we have a blocker here. So let's flip and see. So we got an Ithilien Road. So that flips us into a 7. But it's you know, it's the evil that we know. He's going to be attacking for 5. We have a hasty stroke. No, we don't. So I think Hemamoth takes the hit here. I think Hemamoth takes the hit. Gildor gets a damage, but yeah, and then we can use Hemamoth in one of the action windows before he dies. Okay. So let's go ahead and quest. We'll use Glorfindel. We'll raise our threat by 1 because we have to exhaust him to do that. So that's going to be 3, 6. Oh. Plus 2 is 8. We're going to be questing against 7. So this comes out. We place 1 progress token here. We'll use... No, Hemamoth can't because it's exhaust and we need him to be ready. Fool me once. So he's going to come and engage us. We'll have Hemamoth defend. Deal 2 damage to the attacking enemy. And there's one of our guards. That's a little sad. So 2 damage here. Hemamoth dies. Gildor takes the damage. But here we are. Okay. Alrighty, so end of the round, we will ready. increase our threat. Top of the round, we'll draw into a Gleowine and pass out some money. 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and Villia Elrond to get a Gandalf. Let's go. Okay, 2 big pulls with Villia here. We're gonna hit Southern Company for 4 to kill Southern Company. Just get that threat out of the way. Okay, we'll drop these 2 to play as Falith onto Glorfindel. We'll use Denethor to take a look at our top card. It's an Overgrown Trail. So exhaust a ranger character to place 3 progress tokens here. That's going to be a questing for 8. We got 4, 7, 10, 12. So that would put 4 here. I'm okay with that. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and use Asfalith to throw 2 onto this road. We will quest with Gandalf for 4, Landroville for 7 total. Kelador is 2. And then Glorfindel raises our threat and 3. So 12 total. This is 8. So 4 gets placed here, meaning 1 gets rolled over. Then we'll travel to the Overgrown Trail. End of the round, Gandalf goes away, but he did a lot of work there. Really happy with what Gandalf was able to pull off for us. We'll increase our threat to 30. Draw a card, which is Warden of Healing. That's nice to see. We'll pass out some money. This has been working out for us so far. Elrond, Villia, Northern Tracker. Let's go. We have been pulling hot fire with Villia tonight. Once we got it onto the game board, we'll go ahead and ask Fala to clear this guy. So we're requesting +2 right now. We'll use Denethor to go ahead and take a look at what this top card is. It's one of these spiders, which would engage us. And if it'd have 6 attack, which is more attack than I want to allow it to have. So let's go ahead and shuffle that to the bottom. We're going to need a defender regardless, which could be Northern Tracker, honestly. At this point, we don't need Northern Tracker to be questing. Could get Gleowine in. I'm more kind of wanting to get Gildor in. But Warden of Healing also would be pretty nice. So I assume, can I heal Kelador? I guess I never really thought about that. Like, can I put Warden of Healing out? Heal on 2 different characters. It's an ally. And it doesn't say that I control. That's an interesting... Like, our objective allies characters, I guess is my question. What are characters? What is a character, ally, or hero? Character cards. Sometimes game rules or text refer to character cards. Both heroes and allies are considered to be characters. Card text that says choose a character allows players to choose either a hero or an ally card as the targeted effect. So I would say yes. because this is an ally card. So that's actually kind of interesting. I'm gonna try not to kill him just in case I've missed. I've missed, or there's a rule later. So we'll hold off on that. So Denethor is hanging out. We've already used Denethor there. I want a Light of Valinor too. If we can hold out 2 more turns, then I can drop Gildor. Should be pretty nice. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and quest for 3, raising our threat by 1. 6, 8. Then we're going to have the Northern Tracker to defend if we need it. We're pulling in an Overgrown Trail. So same thing. So 4 goes on here, which is kind of perfect. Okay. So that ends the round. We're ready. Increase our threat. Draw a card into Elrond's Council again. Or no, just our first Elrond's Council. That's kind of nice. Pass out some money. We'll go ahead and use Asphalith to clear this out. Actually, no, we're not. We're not going to do that first. We're going to Denethor to check the top card. It's another Overgrown Trail. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if we can quest for 10, we're good. We don't need to use Asphalith on this guy. So we got 2, 5, 10. So we're good there. So that will clear. So we can use Asphalith on this one. Let's go ahead and see what Villia and Elrond bring us. Gladrian's Greeting. Okay, I'll take it. So -6 to our threat. Down to 26. That makes me happy. That makes me pretty happy. Yeah, I think we're gonna hang out. We're gonna try and go one more, or we will be able to put Gildor into play next turn, and so that's gonna allow us to consistently hit Villia. And so let's go ahead and do that. So we're gonna go Glorfindel, raising our threat. Landraville for 6, 8, 10. And this pops out. That's showing 8. We place 2 here. This actually gets another token right there. We'll go ahead and travel here because an Asphalith and a Northern Tracker will clear this next turn. So there we go. So we will... Ready? One threat. Draw into a Test of Will. That's nice to see. We're also getting pretty flush over here with some spirit resources. We got Elrond and Denethor. So we're going to spend 3 from Denethor, 2 from Elrond to play Gildor. So we can exhaust Gildor to look at the top 3 cards of our deck, switch one of those with one of the cards in our hand, and put the rest on the top of our deck in any order. So we got a Dwarven Tomb, a Hasty Stroke, and a Light of Valinor. So we'll definitely... is there anything that we want to play? There's really nothing that we absolutely need to play. So what we'll do is we will swap we'll swap a Dwarven... Ooh, actually, a Hasty Stroke. Let's swap a Hasty Stroke with a Defender, and we'll put Light of Valinor on top. No, that's crazy. That's crazy. We'll take... Okay, check this out, check this out, check this out. Okay, so we'll swap a Hasty Stroke for a Light of Valinor, because we have so many of these resources. Actually, we put a Defender out there. So instead, we're going to put a Daughter of the Nimmerel. No, we're going to put Gleowine. Put Gleowine on top, then a Hasty Stroke, then a Dwarven Tomb. Then, let's see what Denethor has to bring us. A Hardrum Elite. So engages on a 27. It's a 3/4/3. When it enters play, it makes an immediate attack from the staging area against the first player. Let's drop that to the bottom. We're hunting for rangers at this point. We'll go ahead and use Villia and Elrond to pull out Gleowine. And we'll use one resource here to put Light of Valinor on Glorfindel. That's nice. Then we will use Gleowine to draw a card into Hasty Stroke. So now we've got Hasty Stroke, a Test of Will, and we've got a little bit of wiggle room. So that is nice. Okay, so as Falith, we'll place 2 here. And then we'll quest for 3. 5, 7. That places 1 here, so this immediately clears. So requesting 7. We're going to keep Landroville out as a defender if need be. I would rather take the hit on Glorfindel if I can, but we'll see. So 7. Doomed 3. When revealed, each player must search the encounter deck and discard pile for 1 Herald enemy and add it to the staging area if able. Shuffle the encounter deck. We will spend 1 to play a Test of Will. So still Doomed 3. So 1, 2, 3, up to 31. But we don't have to find an enemy. And that's going to be pretty key there. So we quested for, what did I say, 7. So that clears, and 1 here. Okay, so we're starting to feel pretty good. We'll unexhaust everyone. We'll draw into that Dwarven Tomb. Pass out money. We'll use Gildor. We got a Northern Tracker, a Gandalf, and an Unexpected Courage. We'll draw into, or we'll take the Unexpected Courage into our hand. I'm thinking that we probably we'll get the Northern Tracker onto the table. So we'll throw the Northern Tracker onto the table. I kind of want to sandwich the... We're going to put a Defender in between here. And then we can Villia Gandalf if we need to. Actually, big brain play over here. Let's first do Denethor. So it's a Southern Company. We'll continue to fish. But Southern Company, I was thinking if something was coming out, we could use Denethor for that. Okay. So we will go Elrond and Villia to put in a second copy of Northern Tracker. We'll spend 2 from Glorfindel to play Unexpected Courage, and we'll ready Elrond. We'll spend 1 to Dwarven Tomb, a Test of Will. And then we're going to keep this money. I would want to drop a Defender, but we're going to keep the money so that we can play a Test of Will or Hasty Stroke if we need to. We still have Elrond's Council. I'm hoping that we can push pretty hard over the next 2 turns, and then Elrond's Council can actually have more benefit than just lowering our threat. But we'll see. Okay. So let's go 4, 6, 9, 12. So 12, that does not push us. We still have a Defender in Elrond if we do flip. And then we have Gleowine also as a Defender if we need it. So 12, I'm going to flip into when revealed, each player removes a character he controls from the quest. Then if any player has no characters committed to the quest, remove all characters from the quest. So we will remove 1 Northern Tracker. And so this goes down to 10. And we quest pretty successfully. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I am what you would call a happy camper with that. I don't... Let's go ahead and use Gleowine to draw a card, which will be the defender. Then we'll do our refresh phase. So we'll unexhaust everybody. We'll raise our threat, and then there is a action window here where we're going to use Gildor to look at the top 3. So Gandalf, the runes, and an ancient matin. So we're going to put Gandalf here, and we'll draw into the runes. Actually, I don't even know if I want to... I don't want to go Gandalf this turn. Because there's... I really want to use Gandalf to start popping enemies or using him as a defender, but the threat situation is pretty limited right now. So let's go ahead and take runes into our hand. We'll put defender here on top. And then we'll draw into ancient, and then we can Villia Gandalf 2 turns from now. And then we'll hang on to the runes for later because we don't want to use those right now. Oh, alrighty. Okay. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and I increase threat, so we pass out money. Feeling slightly okay with this. We'll go ahead and Villia Unexpected Courage to put defender into play. Let's go ahead and toss 2 from Denethor to play Warden of Healing. We'll use Denethor's ability to check the top card, which is a Forest Bat. When revealed, the first player deals 2 damage to a questing hero and removes that hero from the quest. I will take that any day. Then it's going to engage. It has a 1 attack, which we can go defender. We can kill with Glorfindel. We can deal 2 damage to, I guess, Glorfindel, because we got Warden now. So that's fine. I'm okay with that. So we're going to show we're at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we need just 3. So let's take this down to 0 and we'll start counting. So let's go 3. 1, 2, 3. And this will get removed from the quest. So it's not a real 3. Plus 2. 1, 2. We need 3 more. 4 more with this. So we'll go Landraville for 3. So that's going to be 8. This will get revealed. We'll deal 2 damage to Glorfindel. Boom. And he gets removed from the quest, taking us this down by 3. And so we are looking at 5. We push. Okay. If the players complete this stage with Gildor in the staging area, advance to stage 3A, bypassing 2. I think Gildor should have 1 more damage because Gandalf left play. So I'm going to up that. Gildor isn't dead, but Gandalf did leave play, technically. And so... Baby Snow, how's it going? Still have not played Scenario 2 of Agmar. It scares you. Is it a tough one? Have you like looked through it at least to see what you're up against? Yeah, okay. Having helped his rangers scatter the first wave of Haradrim invaders, Gildor leads you north along a hidden trail that runs into Ithilien, but more Southrons are marching up the forest road. Now it is a foot race to reach Caer Andros before the enemy. When revealed, the first player takes control of all ranger objectives in the staging area. So we get Gildor. And then enemies do not make engagement checks and cannot be optionally engaged. Oh yeah, I forgot about this stupid bat's gonna stay out there then. Oh well, that's fine. I would assume I can heal him now. he is an ally. He is considered an ally. I'm going to make the call that I am able to heal him at this point. So we're going to go Warden of Healing to heal 2 from Glorfindel and 2 from Gildor. I waited until at least I had control of him. Okay, so we'll unexhaust, 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 unexhaust. We're at 32. Raise our threat to 33. We want to be below 37. Pass out money. Draw a card into Ancient Matin. We have to push through 12, which I think is going to be not super difficult. Hopefully. We could go ahead and bring Gandalf out, reducing our threat. We could use Gandalf to reduce threat. We could use Gandalf to draw cards. But I think... yeah, okay. I think we're going to go ahead and bring Gandalf out and use it to draw some cards. Or use him to reduce our threat. So that's going to give us a little bit more time. Also gives us a 4 quester to push through. Okay, yeah, we're going to do that. That will deal damage to Gildor, so that's going to be kind of funny. But we'll Unexpected Courage Villia to pull Gandalf. Gandalf, we're going to reduce our threat by 5. Okay. Let's check what Denethor sees with Denethor's non-elven eyes. Raise each player threat by the number of questing characters. If the current quest has the battle or siege keyword, it gains surge. So number of questing characters... would raise our threat. We could cancel that, and we know that we just have to push 13, which is not difficult at all, so I'm thinking that we probably cancel that. Let's use the runes just to see what we got. We got a Hasty Stroke and another Elrond's Council. We'll discard a card, which at this point it's going to be Ancient Matin. So we're gonna go ahead and just assume that we're canceling that guy. And then we've got Elrond. Oh, actually, hold up. We may be able to just eat the threat and then reduce it with all of our Elrond's councils. So we have to quest for 13. So let's take this down to 0. So this is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's 2. This is 3. 1, 2, 3. And then this is 3. 1, 2, 3. That puts us at 13 with 4 questing characters. I'm okay to hang on to a Test of Will for that because we have 2 Elrond's Councils in our hands. So 13, we'll flip this. We'll raise our threat by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We push through. Okay. 4, 7, 10, 13. Yep, just wanted to make sure. The island fortress of Caer Andros rises from the middle of the Anduin. From a distance, all is quiet, but you hear as you near the island and the night approaches, a ruckus cry is heard on the wind. The horns of Mordor sound in response. The enemy is moving on Caer Andros, and the assault will begin soon. You must reach it before all hope is lost. If any player's threat is 37 or higher, approaching Caer Andros gains siege, meaning that we're going to quest with our defense. Then at the end of each round, raise each player's threat by 2. Okay. So Forest Bat will engage us because we are making engagement checks at this point. We will have Defender defend. So it's going to be 1. Oh, and there goes Big Boy. So he's gone. And then we'll swing back to kill the Forest Bat. And here we are. Okay, so we'll raise our threat by 1 plus 2. So threat is at 35, so we're still not at siege. Gandalf goes away, dealing a damage to Gildor. And we will ready up. Feeling pretty good about this, y'all. Draw a card into Expert Treasure Hunter. We'll pass out money. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, let's we just roll the dice with Villia and Unexpected Courage. I guess let's see what Denethor brings us first. So we're gonna flip into, oh, it's just a 1, so we're fine. Let's just get Gildor, Self-Preservation, Stargazer, and a Gandalf. We'll throw Gandalf at the top of our deck. We'll switch it with an Expert Treasure Hunter. But here we go. Let's go Villia and Elrond for a Gandalf. We'll reduce our threat by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we need to quest for 16. Let's count it up, y'all. So we've got 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So that puts us at 12. We're going to play 2 Elrond's Councils to give us +2, and then reduce our threat by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. And then we've got, what do we need? Just 2 more. Got Glaewine and Landroville. Oh, we have to remove a hero from the quest, so we don't actually have it. That's really funny. No, we can test a will to win revealed. Okay, so he's gonna pop out. We'll spend 1 to play, cancel the win revealed effects, and that pushes through. There you go. That's game 2 of the Heirs of Numenor box. Third time was the charm, so that's nice. Getting Villia in turn 1 was just so crucial, and being able to throw Landroville onto the table with Villia, being able to, like, on turn 1, then hitting Gandalf with Villia. It was, I mean, we got some really nice Villia hits, so that really led to kind of smooth sailing throughout the game. We also had 2 over here. He's this side of my table right here is like super bad glare for me, so I just like missed that we had Kelador still to quest. Cool. Well, there you go. That is game 2 of the box. We will be back next week on Monday at 10 a.m. for game 3. And if we pass that, we'll get to start opening some new packs. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, so thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate you all. And I hope my next stream is going to be on Friday at 10 a.m. We're starting a Dunwich campaign. Me and Professor Meg, who has been on the stream before, we are coming in. We're going to run through Dunwich together. I am super excited about that. I'm running a Charlie Kane deck. And so he's the one who's a neutral investigator with... and he can have 4 allies on the table, and he uses his allies for their abilities, for their test icons. So I'm really excited to play him. He just seems like a ton of fun. Alrighty, until next time, have fun gaming. Peace.